What's going on, guys? Sam Motion here, back with another video on the channel, and this one will be covering the Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 75, God of Destruction Power. And of course, last chapter, we saw Vegeta get a new transformation. Everyone was hyped for it, and the spoilers kind of revealed that he's gonna lose anyways, which is as expected. And as this continues, I will be ranting. Of course, I hate that Vegeta lost. It's so disappointing because I was honestly as hyped as a Dragon Ball fan could possibly get, and expected this to knock Granolah the shit out, and then we get to the next part. But clearly, that hasn't happened. Granolah has defeated Vegeta in this chapter, so let's just find out what happens, and let's get right into it. So, Chapter 75, God of Destruction Power. Granolah starts out by saying, "Your power is unbounded? What does that even mean?" And you could see Vegeta just smirking, looking evil as hell, and he unleashes an attack towards Granolah, which is just like, I don't get what this attack really is. It's obviously destruction power, but somehow Granolah is able to dissipate it, move it to the side. But maybe it was just a distraction, because after that, Vegeta's literally right in his face and grabs the collar, looking badass. This panel is amazing. He says, "Your head's gotten too big. It's time to take down a peg. It's time to take you down a peg." Of course, Vegeta is stronger than Granolah at this point, it appears to be. Granolah is looking scared as hell, saying, nothing. And Vegeta goes, "Get ready for a dose of my tough love." Now, most of the dialogue from Vegeta this chapter is pretty weird, but the panels kind of make up for it. The fighting scenes are really great. Vegeta goes on to headbutt Granolah, and the fight continues with Granolah bleeding out of his mouth. Vegeta throws him down to the ground, and he just jumps up. But it does look like Granolah is getting thrown around a lot right here. All of a sudden, Vegeta's in his face again, getting his hands together and knocking Granolah down even further, which causes him to hit a rock and down further, down and down. Vegeta then appears in front of him, kicking him upwards, and Vegeta's just owning this fight at this point. Granolah can't even move. He doesn't have any time to do anything. He does a flip and points his fingers towards Vegeta, hoping to get in a shot with his eye abilities, but Vegeta's above him suddenly, and he kicks Granolah down into the ground, knocking hundreds of trees, and Granolah just comes back up. So while Vegeta's attacks are effective, it's shown that Granolah is about to, he's on par right now at the moment, and Granolah attacks Vegeta again, going straight in his stomach. And while Vegeta is definitely hurt by this attack, it isn't affecting him that much, because he goes on to explain the source of his power. He says, "The thing is, the hotter my battle soul burns, the stronger I grow," which I basically took as the more excited he gets while fighting, the more he is sort of in his natural habitat, like as a Saiyan, they love to fight, he gets stronger and stronger. So Vegeta's power, this transformation, could literally be infinite. He loves to fight. All he does is fight and train. So maybe this power is exactly what we could use to stop Granolah, or what he could use. So even while he got hurt that badly, he comes back and grabs a hold of Granolah's head and shoves him downwards. Now, this is just showing Vegeta's power against Granolah. Granolah is absolutely baffled, as we are, and Vegeta's just owning him right now, throwing him into the ruins of that city where we saw the flashback with the Saiyans destroying planet Cereal. And that's why Granolah is taking his revenge. So Granolah is knocked into the walls, and he gets up, but just then he's met with a kick by Vegeta, sending him crashing through more and more walls. He breaks through like this mansion citadel kind of building, and Vegeta just looks at him smirking like he knows he's already won this fight. But that's kind of just cocky Vegeta right there, and that could be his downfall. And then Granolah goes on to comment, "It's likely he's an entirely different person. He gets stronger by taking damage, and what's a god of destruction?" Of course, normal people, or even like Cerealians, don't know what gods of destructions are. But Vegeta goes on to explain that they are these beings called god of destructions, and their universe has one. Also revealing that there is multiple universes, and that we have a god of destruction. Right. And he's the one who taught me about this power, Vegeta goes on to say. Now Granolah gets up, and he's actually shocked too. He's shocked at the fact that a god helped Vegeta, a Saiyan who destroys planets, help get a power that could rival him. Did I say that? No. This power is on my own. So while Beerus helped him understand the God of Destruction power, Vegeta was the one that actually unlocked it. Our battle has awakened it for the first time. Wait, what? Right, I've already glanced at this chapter before, and that's actually one of the lines that kind of took me by surprise, which goes on to show that Beerus does not know Vegeta has this power. Vegeta has unlocked this on his own, and it was because of the fighting he was getting out of fighting with Granolah. So while Beerus provided the principles, and he did training with Vegeta in the Hakai and God of Destruction way, Vegeta was the one that attained this power himself based off of instinct and his own ego. This is innate power within me, he goes on to say. And Granolah is just shocked at this point. He's asking, wait, did I draw out the strength of yours? And Vegeta goes on to confirm this. Yeah, precisely, and I'm grateful, really. Granolah is angered, and he goes on to say, enough nonsense, you stronger than me? That's impossible. And he goes on to blast Vegeta, but Vegeta puts up sort of this aura around him, and this is obviously like a high kind of aura, which is what we saw with Topo. It kind of dissipates attack, so I'm guessing that's what he did right here. And Granolah is shocked once more. I mean, this dude is stronger than me, and I wish to be the strongest and sacrifice literally all of my life for this? What? And Vegeta goes on to say, good. Good. Nothing revs me up more. So as his fighting spirit grows, Vegeta is actually getting stronger, like you said previously, and like I mentioned previously. So what Granolah is doing right now is just amping up Vegeta's power even more. Desperately, Granolah goes on to fire repeated blasts towards Vegeta, and Vegeta is just tanking all of these. I mean, he's taking a lot of damage right now, but he's just tanking it. Coming through the smoke, Vegeta goes up, and Granolah shouts, shield. And I don't know why Granolah shouted shield. Maybe Oatmeal was the one that provided the shield, but not 100% sure, because it doesn't look like Granolah's forming some sort of shield. Like, if I'm forming a shield, I'm not going to scream shield, right? So either it's Oatmeal, or maybe I'm just an idiot, and Granolah did actually form his own shield. But Vegeta literally punches this shield, and it doesn't burst, which means that this shield is pretty powerful, whether or not Granolah created it or Oatmeal. Vegeta seems to be annoyed by this shield, so Granolah is going on to mock him. Why don't you dodge? Isn't like your ally's power up that makes his body avoid danger? Of course, speaking about Goku, and Vegeta goes on to confirm this. You speak of Kakarot's Ultra Instinct. You don't compare me to his pathetic technique, to my own. Because clearly Vegeta is currently being shown to be stronger than Goku. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say this. I mean, I had the whole long conversation with an idiot on Twitter who thought that Goku was currently stronger. I mean, we haven't seen that much from Goku and Goku's new form against Granolah. Oh, it's not really a new form, but against the full power Granolah. But what we have seen is him fighting a fraction of Granolah and defeating him. However, when he fought the real Granolah, he got one-tapped. But the same attack against Vegeta didn't work. He instead unlocked a new power who seems to be kicking the shit out of Granolah. I mean, I don't get why people don't think that Vegeta is weaker than Goku. Sure, Goku lost, and sure, Vegeta might lose, but that doesn't mean that Vegeta isn't stronger than Goku at this point. I'm not saying Goku was going to be weaker going forward. I mean, he could be, but I'm not saying that Goku is completely left in the dust. This is just a way to even them out. And then Vegeta goes on to say, he actually gives his transformation a name right here. Kakarot's body may have a mind of its own, but I'm all ego. In fact, go ahead and call this Ultra Ego. Now, actually, that is a pretty cool name for this transformation. I named it Primal Instinct, and I do still stick with that. I think it's a much better name than Ultra Ego. But Ultra Ego sounds like a name from like a Ben 10 villain or something, or a Ben 10 transformation. But I guess this isn't that bad of a name. I do kind of like it. And Granolah goes on to question, Ego, you say? But he doesn't get to finish, because Vegeta runs together, puts his hands together, puts his feet together, and dashes towards Granolah's bubble, breaking through it with his feet, and crushing Granolah's skull, like dumping him through the entirety of that entire city. And then we see Monaido again. We haven't seen Monaido since the beginning of this arc, and we did see Granolah looking over him in a previous chapter. But Monaido goes on to say, thought so. Granolah's caught up in some fight, but against who? Could it be Frieza? So Monaido cannot like sense ki, I guess, because he thinks that it's Frieza, and he's a Namekian. I wonder what Monaido's presence means there. Maybe he's going to do something, but we won't be sure of that. And Granolah goes on to say, you aren't even Frieza. There's no way I'll lose to some third-rate Saiyan grunt. Of course, Granolah does not know that Frieza isn't as strong as these two, and he also doesn't know that Vegeta was the prince. Then Vegeta goes on to confirm everything. He goes on to basically give Granolah this moment of clarification. And I've been waiting for this moment. Vegeta goes on to say, I have no idea what tales you've heard, but our home planet, Vegeta, wasn't wiped out by some enormous meteor strike. What? It was all Frieza's doing. He destroyed planet Vegeta himself. And Granolah goes on to look absolutely shocked, with Vegeta looking over him, saying the Saiyan tribe is yet another punished to the brink of extinction, pushed to the brink of extinction by Frieza. And I guess punished is the same thing. And Granolah still continues to question that. Is that true? He asks Oatmeal. And Oatmeal doesn't really give Granolah closure. He just goes on to say, Granolah, that contradicts what you were told. It doesn't matter, Granolah said. Even if you are telling the truth, it's no reason to call off my revenge. And I think this is the point where Granolah's starting to, like, have a turning point. Like, sure, this Frieza destroyed the Saiyans, but like they still destroyed me. However, he's starting to find more out, and he's questioning himself. And he goes on to attack Vegeta again, going to say against you Saiyans, obviously speaking about his revenge. He strikes Vegeta, and Vegeta tanks it again. He's visibly hurt by this attack. He starts to bleed, but Vegeta just grins even wider and says, believe what you want, but I speak the truth. And don't think for a second that I want your pity. Vegeta goes on to kick Granolah further and further, destroying more of his city. Granolah backflips and like uses his scarf to gather onto this church-looking building to spin himself around. I don't know why he would need to do that. I think he can't fly. This was never confirmed, but I don't think he can fly, so I guess he does need to do that. He swings around and catches himself instead of flying, so maybe that confirms that even more. So somehow he manages to get this strong in his entire life, but still doesn't manage to fly. It appears that the Saiyans were victims as well, says Oatmeal. So what, questions Granolah. That doesn't change the fact that the Saiyans killed my people, and yet it does not seem that these two were aware of that. Enough, Oatmeal, Granolah shouts, and then he goes on to take off the eye patch that keeps Oatmeal from talking to him. Then it's revealed his eye, and yeah, this is where I start realizing what's happening in this chapter and how Vegeta loses. Granolah reveals his eye powers. Now that I'm the strongest, says Granolah, I don't need your support anymore. So he just shoved Oatmeal to the side, which is an AI, I'm guessing. That just happened. He just shoved Oatmeal to the side. Granolah did that. And then Granolah goes on to, okay, he just flew to Vegeta, so I guess that just completely ruins what I said earlier. But Granolah flies to Vegeta, and Vegeta goes on to say, oh, is that red eye the mark of your people? You claimed I'm not used to my power, says Granolah. I did, Vegeta replies. You haven't seen enough battle in your time. Granolah then goes on to say, then I'll have to make up for that lack of experience against you. For some reason, Vegeta's taken back, but then Granolah goes on to say, you're not the only one who grows stronger the more he fights. Granolah then goes on to lift the entire church building. For some reason, he thinks this is going to hurt Vegeta, but I think he was just using it as a distraction. He goes on to basically hurtle that towards Vegeta, and Vegeta goes on to just catch it and disperse it straight from the middle. Then he goes on to say, what's this? So willing to destroy this old city now, are you? Then Granolah takes the rest of the pieces and throws it straight at Vegeta again. I guess this kind of symbolizes him destroying his past, but maybe not. Granolah then goes on to fire Ki Blasts at every single one of those rocks, blowing them up all in Vegeta's face, but Vegeta blocks them all and says, you'll go to any lengths then. And this is where I love, this is where the panel started to like really amaze me. I really love the drawing, even though the writing is kind of shit. Vegeta goes on to take his battle armor off, and dude, we haven't seen him like this since the Buu Saga. I'm amazed by this chapter. And he goes on to say, fine by me, bring it on. And Oatmeal is still left there. I'm guessing he is really an AI, so he goes on to say, really, Granolah? But then a ship comes by, and it looks like it's kind of taking Oatmeal with it, and I'm guessing oil's in that ship, so, you know, the heaters are still on this planet. They take Oatmeal, or Oatmeal takes himself, one or the other, and Vegeta continues his fight with Granolah, and at this point they're trading blows. Vegeta punches Granolah, Granolah kicks Vegeta, back and forth until Vegeta kicks him down. And at this point, this is where I realized what was going on and how Vegeta really lost. I think we all, like, kind of overestimated Vegeta's ability, even though I do think that he definitely should have won this. Vegeta was so consumed by his ego, considering the name of the transformation, Ultra Ego, that he forgot that he actually can still take damage. Throughout this entire chapter, Granolah had been damaging Vegeta, but Vegeta just took that and got stronger, instead of acknowledging his scars. So Granolah is done so much damage to Vegeta at this point that Vegeta is just bleeding everywhere. He's hurt. but he's disregarding it in a way because he's just getting stronger by it. And Vegeta goes on to grip the blood and say, let's keep this up. I can grow even stronger. That just like goes on to further prove what I just said. He's just getting stronger from this. He doesn't believe that he's hurt. Even though he's hurt, he's really hurt. And then Granolah fires a Ki Blast at Vegeta, who barely dodges it and gets scarred again. So he's getting hurt again. Granolah then goes on to look at him and say, so you can dodge after all, or are you hitting your limits at last? Smirking while he does. Vegeta grins even wider and says it's unwise to doubt a Saiyan's combat powers. We live for battle. And then Goku starts to get up. We haven't seen him in 2 chapters. Goku gets up and he's still hurt, even though he ate a senzu bean. And Goku goes on to say, is he for real? Where's that power Vegeta had earlier? Where's that growth spike? I guess that's what he's saying. And Gorilla's moves are sharper than ever. Is he getting the hang of fighting? Yikes, I can't be taking it easy on the sidelines forever. Goku goes on to charge some ki in his hand and puts it over his chest. I'm guessing this is a way of healing on top of the senzu beans. So he goes on to say, come on, body, you gotta heal for me. So Goku doesn't seem to be out of commission now. He's going to join probably next chapter. Then Granolah continues to fire at Vegeta, and like I said, Vegeta is just taking all the shit. He's taking all the damage, but he's disregarding it for whatever the hell reason. He thinks he's just getting stronger from it. He's relying too much on his power. Maybe he hasn't pointed to himself, but that's basically a point. And then he fires a Ki Blast back at Granolah, damaging him. And at this point, Vegeta is just so tired out. You can see it. Like, his eyes are almost closing. He's going in and out. Vegeta goes on to say, tenacious worm. And you could see he's, like, really, really hurt. He goes on to even acknowledge this, saying, vision blurring. I've taken far too much damage. And then Granolah pulls out the same attack he used earlier, forging sort of a gun out of his ki and using both of his hands to use it. So Vegeta goes on to say, curse him, still standing and ready to fight. I'll have to end this now. So Vegeta goes for one last power spike and charges up this giant death ball that he's going to fire towards Granolah. And he goes on to say this will destroy anything it touches. So it seems to be a ball of Hakai. It's basically like what Toppo fired. It's a Hakai. So he's using his God Destruction powers even more. Want to protect your precious planet? Okay, sorry guys. Want to protect your precious planet? Then you'd better stop this yourself. Granolah doesn't seem fazed, so he goes on to say, oh, you're a brave one, aren't you? Then this will be your doom. He fires the Hakai towards Granolah, who just stands there and uses his eye. That's what I said. He's going to use his eye in this chapter. He uses his eye to basically destroy it. And Vegeta sees this, he goes, huh? A red left eye too. Wait. Oh, damn! Wait, I did not notice this earlier. His other eye turns red. He's okay. That's even worse. That's even worse. Now he doesn't only have one eye power, but he has two. Both of his eyes. We all thought it was just one. I didn't realize this when I was reading the chapter earlier. He has two of the eyes. The ability. Oh, well, that's amazing. I guess Granolah is getting stronger, but that doesn't change the fact that Vegeta's losing, and that's stupid. So, Granolah goes on to say, eat this, which is just a stupid dialogue all around, and he goes straight through Vegeta's Hakai and damages Vegeta straight in the core. Vegeta gets hit. Goku feels this. Manito feels this. The heaters feel it. Everyone feels it. They're like, oh my god, what is happening? And then Vegeta is, of course, like literally every time, Cell, Frieza, Boo, frickin' even Moro last chapter. Ugh, damn it. How did he do this? How? What the hell, Vegeta? How did he do it, you cocky little... How did he do it? Toyotaro and Toriyama don't seem to understand that Vegeta needs a win. Vegeta needs a win. Why isn't he getting a win? This is just stupid at this point. It's so repetitive. Vegeta deserves a win. I'm really disappointed in them. I'm really disappointed in the way that they're doing this. They're literally giving Vegeta a new transformation, a new thing every freaking arc. And then he doesn't win. Of course, they're Goku show. Goku's obviously going to do something, and he's going to win, not Vegeta. Of course Vegeta doesn't win. Moving on, though, Granolah is just smirking and saying, I have to thank you, Saiyan. You're responsible for drawing this power within me. Contradicting what Vegeta said earlier about how Granolah was helping him draw his power out. So now, we cut back to the heaters after all this time, and Maki is talking to Oil, and she says, hey, Oil, you want to explain that crazy explosion just now? I mean, you okay? What the heck was that? And then we see Elec again, and he says, Oil goes on to say, I'm in one piece. That was just Granolah fighting back. Oh, I'm impressed, says Elec. I was sure Granolah would lose this fight soon, but I guess the battle's still undecided. Yo, those three can keep wearing each other down. I said yo, she said yup. And then Elec goes on to say, just as we planned then, they'll wipe each other out. the other heater goes on to say, all's good with this device too, Elec. I don't remember this guy's name, but I do know that he's the strong one who apparently can defeat Frieza or something. And then he goes on to say, we're about to reach the first location, and they have the Dragon Radar in their hand. And Eli goes on to say, I can't wait to lay eyes on those so-called Dragon Balls that grant any wish. And you do know, I mean, we do know that the planet Cerulean, they have Planet Cereal. They have only 2 Dragon Balls, so all they need to do is collect 2 Dragon Balls, literally just 2 Dragon Balls, and that's where this manga chapter came to an end. And I've just got to say, I am amazed by the fighting panels and the fighting and everything about Vegeta's new transformation in this entire chapter. It was amazing. But what I am not amazed by is this exact panel that happens literally every single arc. I mean, Vegeta was bound to lose. We didn't want it to happen. We thought he was finally going to get the dub. We thought they were listening to us, but clearly not. Clearly freaking not. I mean, Vegeta's freaking screwed like always. Goku's going to win somehow. Something's going to happen. I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed, and this is just annoying at this point. I mean, I think a lot of people for this was their last strand. I mean, obviously everyone kept on coming back to Dragon Ball Super because they were like, oh, okay, so Vegeta's gonna get a dub next time, and after that, the next time. But I think after this new transformation, after him finally getting a new transformation after that long Moro arc and most of this Granolah arc, he still loses. So what hope is there? I don't think that anybody is going to be happy with what has happened in this entire chapter. Yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. That was chapter 75, God Destruction Power. My review on it. Sort of a rant. But I did cover the entire chapter. Let's just hope I don't get strike down for showing this manga. Yeah, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.